Thanks, Iron Boat 9. Thanks, Polly. I knew it was the right time to give you the book on Saturday past. That's why I went to Dublin. I always go to Dublin. At least there's a positive. Well, there was many positives came out of it. Many positives. But that there to me is priceless. Because I just don't have the equipment at the time and all to sit and scan documents all the time and do things like that. But what we have there, people, is the minutes of the first dollar earn. Irish dollar earn. The first dollar earn in the Mansion House in Dublin, 1919 to 1921. And within it you have the Declaration of Independence, the Democratic Programme, the Oath of Allegiance, you have Bunrock Dollar Earn, which is the constitution for the first dollar earn, the sovereign dollar earn. That is the sovereign dollar earn, not Leinster House where they sit now, the Dáil. That is dollar earn. And that never signed off on the treaty. And if you read through this book, you will see that leads up to the treaty. And I have the other book. And once I get the other book into someone's hands and they can do the exact same with it, well then, between that is the founding documents of the Irish Republic. If you read it, okay? If you read it, it's in Gaelic, it's in French, because the French acknowledged the Irish Republic. And it's in English. It's a beautiful bit of literature. There's some arguments in it. There's some debates in it. There's decrees in it. There's oaths in it. There's all about your property, all that there. Promises, everything. Everything's in it, folks. And I'll tell you what, if there was 400 of you in this here group here now the night that read that book, just think how many minds then will be up to date on actually knowing what actually happened in this country and what has happened. You will be able to see there what was set up and what fucking diabolical, fucking shambolic, farcical nonsense, fraudulent nonsense we have now. I also have the 1939 minutes of the Dáil, which the First Amendment was discussed on the 2nd of September and things like that. We have the constitutions with the 1942, it's scanned. That's the first fraud. We have the 1937, it's scanned. It's now in circulation. This is growing, people. You know, takes is awareness. It's all about awareness. Awareness is key. Awareness is the cure. Because once people see what actually was promised and what you're operating under now, you know, you will see the fraud and the deception for what way I see it. Excuse me. And within that, you'll be able to see the remedy and cure what I'm talking about. Judicial review. Judicial review in the Supreme Court. And this here will return us to, by default, because the treaty is up. The treaty's up on the 5th of December at midnight. And this by default because we're no longer a unionist state here in the north. And that there by default will return us to 1937. And there is no sitting king who has been crowned because it's out for tender at the minute. So the people have to accept it. So if nobody challenges it within a year, he'll sit as the king anyway. So we're going to challenge it, hopefully, as Irish people and get released from the Crown of England and IMF and Europe and all the oligarchs. People, what we have here is facts, not fiction. Okay? These are official documents, as you can see. Official state documents upon which this state was founded. The Irish Republic, not the Republic of Ireland. The Irish Republic has been already established. The name of the state is éiRe. The name of the state is éiRe, not Ireland. éiRe. Okay? And within that there, so you had the proclamation where you proclaimed a nation. Then you have the Declaration of Independence where we declared. That's when we gained independence. Okay, we gained independence, so we had to go ahead and forge independence, show that we could be a democratic, independent, democratic, sovereign state, the Irish Republic. That's what we had to go. So then 1922 came and you had the Constitution of the Irish Free State, which was under the Crown. Articles 16 and 17 in it. In the Irish Statute Book, Articles 16 and 17 within it is oaths to the Crown, the King and his heirs. And that lasted up to the 1936 when King Edward abdicated in 1936. So then they forged a nationwide state plebiscite, and they came up and adopted on the 1st of July 1937 Ambanrock, full 63 Cló Gaelic. And on the 29th of December that year is when we got independence. We got independence. We gained it on the 21st of January 1919. We got independence as the Irish Republic. But within that there, the treaty had to be upheld, which was a 99-year lease. Well, that's up now. So everything's up for grabs here, and they aren't being honest with the people. And as it says on the front page, we, the people of éiRe, it has to come from awareness. The people have to reject what they have set in front of them at the minute. And this is the ripple effect. This is the butterfly effect. This is us bringing it to the people of éiRe. And I know times are tough, and I know it's tough to understand and all that, but we have Irish law, and it's written in Irish script, Irish font, Cló Gaelic, and that's what saves the day. This is a battle to save the humble fada. You hear Sinn Féin and all talking about constitutional change. They want to take this away from us. They want to replace it with a UN WHO treaty type nonsense that sends us all away, that we become subservient. Well, we're a sovereign people in a sovereign state. The land of abundance, éiRe, fat lands. Article 52.2, full force of law. You know what I mean? Article 58, Article 51. And I'll tell you, Article 9.2, fidelity to the nation and loyalty to the state is a fundamental and political duty of all citizens or all people. That's you or I if you have an Irish passport. That's you or I. On a birth certificate or whatever to say you're born in the island of éiRe. Any part of it, north, south, east or west. It's a 32 county independent democratic state, and we named her éiRe. And it is the Irish Republic. And it is no borders. And we are the wealthiest country on planet Earth. And if you read that document there, Laws of the Seas or whatever, Freedom of the Seas, and we control the land, the air and the water. We are the gateway to the West for Europe and England. And they have held on to the north here. And they wanted to do, we need to reject everything that they're coming with. And this is the answer, people. Please believe me in this here. Please believe me. I have the biggest, utmost faith in this. I know it inside out. So does Rory. Know it inside out. I can point out all the mistakes to anybody. And I have it all here. The founding, I went, that's why I bought the 1939, so I could actually go and back up the 1942, where it says in the front page that this year was enacted under the First Amendment of the 2nd of September 1939. And then it was brought in the May 1941, and then they brought out the Blue Constitution of 50 articles on the 25th of March 1942. Well, we were left, think whatever you want of De Valera, think whatever you want of Michael Collins. We were left a constitution because called Ambanrock, right? The constitution, the Irish constitution. We were left it. It is enrolled in the office of the Registrar of the Supreme Court, and such same copy will be conclusive evidence and irrefutable evidence of the provisions of this Constitution, signed by the Taoiseach, the Chairman of Dáil Éireann, and the President, and such copy will be enrolled in the office of the Registrar of the Supreme Court as irrefutable evidence if there's ever any conflict between the Irish and English text, the writings. The Irish text shall prevail, and that is the one that is enrolled in the office of the Registrar of the Supreme Court, Cloghealach, not the standardised Irish, which everybody has been operating since 1942. Then in 1966, they done away with Latin, and with doing away with Latin teachings in schools, you would have been doing away with Cloghealach too, and the teachings of it. And this here is what Rome, the Church of Rome, they don't want this to exist. They didn't want Cloghealach taught. Why? Because it made you a free, independent man or woman. And that's the long and short of it. It is the oldest written and spoken indigenous text and language in the world. So it is. The arts and scholars, the saints and scholars. We are the Emerald Isle. We are the jewel in the crown. We have been in perpetual state of war since 1916. Believe it or not, we have been in a perpetual state of war in this island since 1916. Well, it can end this year if all of us waking up and start standing together as one, with one message. Anne Bunrock, 1937. All 63 articles still have the force of law. Article 52.2. Gormia my agat, God bless, Chucky Arla.